Say you are in Africa and you have a technological idea that you want to achieve. There are some things that you should know, and you should ask yourself if your technological idea will come to light or it will die, depending on the structures that Africa has put up to ensure that their technology either succeeds or fails. Now, in this show, I'll have a take on how Africa is making sure that its technology isn't growing, and that comes down to one simple thing: funding. Now, the African funding in technology is kind of low, and African countries haven't prioritized funding technology in their budgets. Most of the African countries will kind of fund roads, education, health, and agriculture, but they will make sure that they give technology the lowest funding, unlike the American structures or the European structures where they fund technology more. And that is why Africa is behind in military technology, in science technology, and it's back in software technology just because of that simple thing. African doesn't prioritize funding its technology. Now, some of you may argue that why can't people do it privately? Why can't they fund their own projects or look for private people to fund their projects? Now, that is the other thing. In the African structure, we do not have enough money from people to fund our technologies. We do not have the billions that you can see. Now, you can see that OpenAI, when it was a startup company, Microsoft invested more than $10 billion in it. Take that scenario in Africa. Do you think that a company or a person will fund $10 billion into your startup because it has a future? No. That is why another thing that is hindering the African technology is funding, whether it is personal funding or government funding. You do not get that money that you need for you to fund your own project. Now, another thing is there are no policies to make sure that the African technology improves. In Africa, we have policies that are there to kill the technology, such as the misuse of the cyber crime or the cyber breach, whatever the cyber crime thing. Now, in Africa, something small, then they lock down the whole software. Imagine how many millions of money you are losing. If, let's say, you are $1 million company, how much millions are you going to lose just because someone criticized the government on your social media platform? Now, these policies are the ones that even scare the investor. They say, we are not gonna invest in your software because we think that after some time it is going to have problems with the government, and when it has problems with the government, then they will not be able to keep it running. But in the American world or in the European world, you will find that these softwares do not in any way get in path. Even after they criticize the government, they are not taken down, they are not blocked, they are not banned. And that is what I think Africa should check on. Another thing that is hindering the African technology space is there is no skill, there is no manpower to create these technologies. We have fewer software engineers, we have fewer computer scientists, and that is one thing that is killing the African technology. And the few that we have, either we look for the jobs in the American space or in the European space because they feel that in those countries they pay more money than what you are offered in Africa. And they have structures such as the Silicon Valley, which is a tech plus in America or in California, that is ready to employ these African or Indian skilled laborers because they feel like they're going to pay them low money compared to their American counterparts. So they are taking all these African software engineers or computer scientists and taking them to their own world, and that is another thing that is affecting the African technology space. So it is up to you to ask yourself, do you think that African technology is going to improve or is going to fail in the next year? So those are just a few reasons that I've given you, or the few main reasons that I've given you, so that you can look and see, do you think that the African technology is going to fail or is going to improve in the next year? Now, join me in this space. If you have not subscribed to the show, please subscribe, and you have not clicked the like button, please click it, and enjoy more of our mixtapes and our podcast about technology on this space. Thank you so much. My name is Fatiamka, and that is the Fatty Tech on the African technology. Bye bye. Have a good time.